Hello and welcome back to Platinum Reviews, the show on YouTube where I review the Platinum trophies I earn on PlayStation and giving my thoughts on the game, as well as giving you guys any tips and tricks you may need to take that troublesome Platinum trophy, whilst avoiding any major story spoilers along the way. Today we'll be looking at Marvel's Avengers. Initially released on the 14th of August 2020, Avengers wasn't quite the game fans had been hoping for. After many years of teasers and leaks for the game being released, fans couldn't wait to get their hands on the game, only to find themselves extremely disappointed at the short story mode and the most boring and repetitive online mode I have experienced since playing squad battles on FIFA 21. Being a loot-based action RPG, in the same vein of games like Destiny and Borderlands, as well as being based around the global phenomenon that is the Avengers, it should have been a recipe for success, but instead quickly became the biggest gaming letdown of the year. To mention, this is also the same year Cyberpunk 2077 came out. We all know how bad that was. Surprisingly though, Avengers actually has a really fun and enjoyable single player mode, with a gripping and well written story. The problem with Avengers is the Avengers Initiative mode, which is the game's online/endgame mode.
We're in the endgame now.
Avengers Initiative lets you complete extremely short missions on a large array of semi-open world maps all over the world with a group of up to 4 people, or you can go at it solo, which is probably the most likely option considering it feels almost impossible to find over 3 people who wants to play this painfully boring and repetitive game mode. It's almost just as fun as watching the DVD symbol almost at the corner of the screen. Honestly, this game would have been so much better if they had just scrapped the Avengers Initiative and focused more on the story and made the story online co-op rather than single player, and we could have been looking at one of the best games in recent years. All that being said though, it is worth pointing out that Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix are working really hard on updating the game and constantly releasing new content, so who knows, maybe in a year or two this game will finally live up to its potential. So, with all that in mind, my rating for the gameplay will be a very generous 7 out of 10, based on a great story and hopes that the constant updates make the game fun eventually. Now let's get into the trophies. Avengers has 51 trophies all in all, consisting of 41 bronze trophies, 7 silver trophies, 2 gold trophies, and that magnificent platinum trophy, which is something you would actually want, unlike a copy of this game. This will be a long platinum to achieve, taking roughly 100 to 120 hours of mind-numbing gameplay. As with many loot-based games, you will have to grind to increase the power of your heroes and get the very best gear. Plus, there are a few other trophies that force you to go out of your way to grind, such as completing 50 hives or 30 war zones on challenge difficulty 3. Difficulty wise, I would normally give it a 2 out of 10, but considering how hard it is to keep yourself awake whilst grinding out the hives, I'm changing that 2 out of 10 to a 19 out of 10. That's just how boring the hives get. I literally got to the point where I could not manage to do 1 hive a day before falling asleep at my desk. For any masochists out there who want to go for the trophy, to the dark and back again, I do have a few tips that will make it a little bit quicker. First off, it goes without saying to do hives whenever you get the opportunity, or simply when you need to level up a character. The quickest way I have found to do this trophy is within the Utah Badlands. And to select the hive mission, let the games begin. This being the first hive that you come across during the gameplay, this is the shortest hive on the game, consisting of only 5 floors. If you can't find it on the map, just quit to the main menu and when you return it should be there, and it always pays off to keep a counter of the hives you have completed just so that you can keep track of what you've done so far. Now, to make this as quick as possible, it's best to use a flying hero, someone like Thor or Iron Man, so that you can quickly fly through the hive. At the start of the level, you want to fly straight through the cave system up ahead until you reach the hive. Now hack the door panel on the left and then proceed to clear the area of enemies before taking the elevator inside down to the first floor. What you want to do here is quickly fly to the end of the corridors where you need to take out a room full of enemies. Once you've done that, take the next elevator down to the second floor and fly straight through the corridor again until you get to the control panel. In this room you will need to destroy 3 cores before clearing out the room and proceeding to the next elevator. Now on to floor 3, where you will have to protect 3 aimed effectors from a few waves of enemies. Then once again hop in the elevator and proceed to the next floor. As with floor 2, what you want to do here is fly straight past the enemies until you get to the control panel. Next up is floor 4, which, you guessed it, is another clear the room of enemies level. This one is rather straightforward though, as it is just one straight corridor full of enemies. Make sure you try to save your abilities here though, as they will come in handy for the last 4, making the fight much quicker in the end. Now for the final time, fly past these enemies to the next area until you reach the last room. All you have to do here is defeat a squad of 5 enemies. If you use all 3 of the abilities you saved up from floor 4, you should quickly dispatch all enemies with no problem. If not, then clearing them up should only take a few seconds. And that's the hive complete. Just rinse and repeat this until you have the trophy. And that's pretty much all I have to say on Avengers. As a huge Marvel fan, it does kill me to be so negative towards a Marvel property, but I'm giving my hopes up that the updates and future content releases really improve this game, making it fun in the coming years. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to smash that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, go get that platinum.